Friday night, we had an absolute banger of a game. We had Kansas versus UNC, number 1 versus number 9. It was an absolutely great game, came down to the wire. We're going to discuss 3 reasons that Kansas, in particular, was able to come away with this victory. We're going to break it down into their threes, Bill Self's running sets, and then how they countered UNC's threes, especially at the end of the game. Let's go. So first and foremost, the thing I've talked about over and over is that Kansas last year really struggled with spacing because they did not have shooting. This year, there are 2 players that really stood out in this game. We had Griffin and Mayo, both transfers, I believe, both very, very good three-point shooters. We saw Griffin earlier in the game, and then we had Mayo hit some crucial threes later in the first half and then in the second half as well. You also had AJ Storr hit some crucial threes, but overall in general, the fact that Kansas has elite three-point shooters is such a good benefit for their team going forward. It gives Dickinson and Adams and DeJuan Harris so much more space to work on the inside when you can put a threat right there literally from the logo. So I am very optimistic about Kansas on the offensive front because of their shooting. 2, this is something that Bill Self goes to consistently. Okay, we have the 2 bigs. Okay, those are the ones we're watching in this play. As they're going through, the goal is essentially to get both bigs involved in the play so that way you have the option to seal down here. As we back it up slightly, we can see that Dickinson is right here, and he is going to essentially try and get to the inside of his man. Okay, he's going to try and get over here. In the meantime, these 2 defenders are going to clear out. Bill Self runs this play consistently. I don't remember the name of it, but I've heard Sperber talk about it quite a few, and I've heard other coaches as well. So as he goes through, Dickinson pretends like he's setting a screen, but then just swivels to the inside. Such a simple move. The defender doesn't even realize what's happening because he thinks he has defenders over here, but he doesn't realize they just cleared out. Okay, so as the ball gets moved out, you now have no defenders, defender left, which means you have Dickinson and all the space in the world on the inside. And this is a play that Bill Self goes to routinely to get easy buckets for Kansas in crucial times. He does it at the beginning of games, and he does it at the end of the games. And so then we jump to 3 minutes left in the game. Kansas is down by 4. You need baskets now. This isn't the exact same set, but it's a similar concept. Okay, so first off, we see Dickinson swiveling on the inside. He's trying to get inside position. KJ Adams, the other threat, the reason why his defender can't go down there to help is because KJ Adams is the one with the ball. If DeJuan Harris still had this ball, his defender could sag off a little bit. However, you have shooter, and as we've seen, they can make it now 100%, so you cannot help off whatsoever. So you have Dickinson with space on the inside. And this isn't the exact same set, but this is a very similar concept that Kansas clearly intended to get Hunter Dickinson a good look inside. And especially with shooters, this is such a difficult concept to guard. Okay, what do we have right here? Tie game, 1 minute left. Bill Self believes in this play so much that he's going to go with it at the beginning of the game, all the way down to the end of the game. And everyone knows that this is a set he runs. I guarantee other coaches know it for sure. Okay, 1 defender, could have been help defender, gone. Okay, shooter taken with. Other defender, I'm going to guess he's going to leave the picture. That's just my guess. Let's see what Dickinson does. Okay, Dickinson swivels to the inside. Again, defender doesn't offer that much resistance because he's not cognizant that this is the area that they're trying to attack. Okay, KJ Adams, look at that. He's looking to see, oh yeah, Hunter Dickinson got placement, perfect. And so KJ Adams runs up, takes his play out of the ball. He's not even getting this pass, or if he is, he's just a middleman in between it. A pass right over the top, and again, you have all this space for Hunter Dickinson to work with. No defender, no defender, no defender, no defender. And that means you have, frankly, an advantage, and Hunter Dickinson is again able to finish. That's 7 points at crucial times that Kansas got off that same concept. And then third, we have the way that North Carolina got back in this game. And they got back in this game, frankly, by hitting this shot. Okay, this is Withers, I believe, who hasn't shot very much in the past, but he shot very well today. Okay, so because they had this ball screen set up here, KJ Adams helped over to make sure they tagged the roller coming down. That means the corners are going to be open. Kansas' philosophy was simply, he's not going to make that shot consistently enough. You see KJ Adams close out short there, that you're okay living with that every once in a while. The issue is they hit so many threes in the second half. They shot very, very, very well in the second half. Again, we can see that was a ball screen right here, so defender is helping over. This is the other player they're okay with helping off of. Trimble has not been a good shooter historically. And so Kansas is like, yeah, we're going to take that gamble. We know it's a calculated risk. And it happens sometimes where North Carolina is going to hit those shots. Again, what do we have? Ball screen. Okay, ball screen, which means you're worried about this roller coming downhill. Dickinson's going to take the ball. That means somebody's got to have him. Hey, that's his role right here. Hey, he's the one that's on the relative non-shooter. Maybe he's the kind of non-shooter too, or the one that Kansas has deemed the non-shooter. Okay, so he steps up. As he turns the corner right here on Dickinson, help comes. And because they said Trimble was not the help or not the good shooter, this defender is coming down to help as well. And so as the ball gets kicked out, the AJ Store's not sure where to go, gambles a little bit, probably shouldn't have left his feet right there, but you get another open corner three. And again, that's the game that Kansas is playing. An exact same concept. North Carolina actually goes small this time. So Hunter Dickinson stays here, and Withers simply pops out to the perimeter, and you know Hunter Dickinson's going to stay with the ball and or have a slow time closing out, which means you have a wide open look again. For their credit, he was making them for sure. So, I mean, if he can continue shooting like that, I think it opens up a lot of things for North Carolina. But what Kansas really doesn't want is they don't want this threat of the three to create open shots elsewhere. This is what they don't want right here. So Hunter Dickinson's like, oh crap, he just made a three, I gotta close out. He closes out way too hard, way too aggressively, allows a post player coming downhill. Frankly, you had good defense. However, you're able to finish over him. I mean, he's got a size advantage, and even despite good defense, that's still a good finish. But that's what you don't want if you're Kansas. So then, as North Carolina's been hitting all threes, how does Bill Self react to that? What does he say in a timeout or a media break? I guarantee what he says is relax, stay true to our fundamentals, keep playing the way we were coached, the way we game prepped for this game, and it's going to be okay. Okay? They want to make sure they don't gamble aggressively, stay true, trust that these are your non-shooters. KJ Adams still help over, close short, and trust that your defense is still going to be effective. So as he gets by the defense here, KJ Adams is helping over. And so as this ball gets swung, again, you can close. But these are both semi-non-shooters, so you're okay with that. And KJ Adams is a very cerebral player, understands the game really well. He's not going to just sprint out at Trimble right here. He's going to close out short, force him to put the ball on the ground and make a difficult shot over length. Yes, he makes that, but that is a hard look over Dickinson and KJ Adams right there. Again, we're going to see the ball screen. Hey, what is Kansas' rule on the ball screen? Hey, when the drive happens, KJ Adams, he's coming over. He's helping. There's no reason to give up open shots. Trust the help, trust the philosophy you guys have been coached with. Show your hands and force difficult shots. And they're going to take difficult shots. That's a hard shot, and he missed. The clip gets cut off here a little bit early. But again, there was a ball screen up here, so you had help coming over. Or you had double ball screen, something like that. But so KJ Adams was over a little bit and closing out. Again, we can see that he's not closing out hard. Close out short. Trust that he's not going to be the best three-point shooter and he's going to come back down to earth. So this is the last four possessions from Kansas that we saw. All showed good fundamental defense. And essentially Bill Self is playing the law of averages. Says, yeah, you're going to make a couple of them every once in a while. But again, same as this. 13 has not shot very many threes. And so Dickinson knows his responsibility and says, I'm a help defender first. I can close out short later. And I can trust that 13's not really going to make that many threes. Closes out short, doesn't get beat like he did earlier. Force them to shoot these difficult shots that they haven't proven they can make time and time again. And so Bill Self's absolute brilliance from three aspects. One, from recruiting players that can shoot the three ball, gives so much opportunity on offense. Two, from running clear sets to get good open looks for Hunter Dickinson on the inside where he has no help over the top. And three, trusting the defense where you're essentially gambling and making a calculated gamble on who is the three-point shooters and who is not the three-point shooters led to Kansas winning this game in an absolute great game that came down to the buzzer. Fantastic game by both players or both teams. Absolutely beautiful. This is why I love college basketball. If you enjoyed, feel free to like and subscribe. Most importantly, have a blessed rest of your day.